Right, the sound has been sorted, so let's go back to Dr. Jinal Bhiman, Principal Medical Scientist at the National Institute for Communicable Diseases. Right, we've got you back. I was asking you about the variant. We've just seen a dramatic spike, and I'm just wondering what it says about what's likely to happen to us now and what you are learning about the variant.
So I think the huge spike is definitely responsible in part by the variant. The variant is much more transmissible than what was previously circulating. And South Africa is not the only country or region that has seen this variant take over and begin to dominate. So this has really been seen in many countries globally. What that holds for us, though, it's really hard to predict and really difficult to say, so I don't want to take a chance and make any predictions.
I mean, other than the fact that it moves along quickly, how does it differ from the beta variant, and where is that? Is that still in the country?
It is still in the country, but at a very, very low frequency. It is very rapidly being replaced by the Delta variant. How the Delta variant differs, actually, it's very, very minute changes that the virus has made. But these tiny changes have caused it to become more efficient in the way that it replicates and in the way that it infects our cells. And that's really what's causing this increase in transmission.
And if you've had the virus before, does it place you in a better position if you are to catch it again? Because I believe once you've had it, you can still get this variant.
I think there's some preliminary data that suggests that's not the case, but it's very early days, and it's difficult to say. And obviously these preliminary studies are all lab-based studies. They're not really looking at the real-life situation, and sometimes what we see in the lab is not actually translated when you actually look at what's happening in the population.
Look, there's nothing nice about getting COVID other than the antibodies that you get afterwards. Do we have any idea how many more you get, or is it still how much of a load of the virus you're getting that determines that?
Yeah, there's not really many studies that have been testing serum from individuals who've been infected with the Delta variant at this point, so it's really difficult to say. But as you correctly mentioned, what we know from past experience is if you have a higher viral load in your infection, you will have higher antibody titers, which then equate to longer durability. But with specific respect to this Delta variant, we don't have that data as yet.
How much of a problem is the lack of trust that people have in government, in vaccines, the misinformation that we've seen out there? What impact is that having?
I do think it has a huge impact. I think the slow uptake with vaccine rollout really speaks to that. But I think the situation is really dire at this point. And we've been living with this virus now for over a year. We know everything in terms of how to prevent its transmission. And I think at this point, no matter how much distrust we have in the government, we need to kind of make some choices for ourselves. And there are many people in South Africa who cannot do, what is needed to prevent transmission of the virus, who cannot self-isolate or who cannot work from home, for example. And so those of us who can do those things really should be trying their very best so that we can really protect others and also ourselves.
This might be a rhetorical question, but I mean, it is the flu season, and I'm just wondering if this makes more of an impact. I mean, are you seeing, is it made worse because of the flu? What are you seeing there?
So in terms of the flu circulation, we have seen some flu cropping up, but really not to numbers that we usually see during flu season, and definitely nothing in comparison to what's happening with COVID right now. I don't think that the flu is making the situation any worse, simply because the numbers really are insignificant compared to the COVID numbers.
Okay, let's leave on a little positive then. Jinal Bhiman, thank you very much for talking to us.